Hi everybody, it's Sally. Today I am working with some alcohol ink on a piece of Graphix. It's like a plastic paper. I'll link the product in the show notes below. But I've just put down a lid from a cookie tin, and I'm taking Ranger ink Botanical and just putting the ink around the outside of the lid, just to get a circular shape on my paper. And then I'm going to add some of the color Lettuce, also a Ranger alcohol ink, just a little bits here and there, just to give a little bit more of like a green leafy feel to this. And then I'm going to put blending solution around the outside of the ink and onto the ink, I guess. I thought I just put it around the outside edge, but I put it right into the ink. And then I'm just going to use my airbrush and start moving the ink around. And it kind of pulls against the edge of the tin lid there. So it takes a little bit to get it to dry and to move it out away from the edge. So that's what I'm doing here. And it did move a little bit. I was a little concerned. I moved the lid a little, but it was okay. I'm just trying to get an initial layer of color down and dried. That pretty much does it, I think. And then we can just remove the lid there, and you see that it protected the paper pretty well. This plastic paper, I like it, even just a little more than Yupo, and it's far less expensive. You can get a really big package of it. So now I'm put some blending solution on the inside edge because I don't want that real hard edge. I want to get rid of that line and just soften that edge. So I'm just pushing the blending solution into the ink and then pushing it back out again. I'm still trying to get used to this airbrush. I haven't used it a whole lot. So I know in a lot of cases my hand is in the way, but that really can't be helped because I have to keep the nozzle of the airbrush pretty much over where I'm working. So I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way so you can see as the alcohol ink is moving. And then I'll just go back and forth adding blending solution and then moving it around. Just play with it until I get the look that I like. I don't want a whole lot toward the inside of the circle, but I also don't like the real hard edges that you get sometimes when all the ink pools into a line and starts to dry. So it's just kind of a dance going back and forth. But what I'm going for is just kind of a leafy wreath look. So I'm just going to speed this up now until I get to the next section. Okay, so my thought was I'd like to put some spots of color in here that would kind of mimic flowers. So I went for butterscotch first, and it's just kind of a deep yellow color. And I'm just going to add that in spots and add some blending solution with it and just move it around until I like it. And I will do that in several areas, and then I will be back and tell you what I'm going to do next. So here you see I'm cleaning up spots. Every once in a while I like to stop and just clean up any little spots that might have like dripped on the outside. Sometimes when you open the bottle or turn it upside down, you get those little tiny spots that fly. And then any place that has just gotten kind of out of hand that I want to corral back in, I might pull back a little bit toward the edge of the wreath. So you'll see me, I do this several times throughout this process. Just it helps to do it as I go rather than try to wait until the very end. But I'm just using plain 91% alcohol to lift any of that ink that I don't want back off the paper. So I thought after putting down this goldish yellow butterscotch color, I wanted to go for some Pinata Brass. It's a metallic ink. It doesn't move as readily as the regular alcohol inks do. So I played with that a little bit, tried to get it so that I didn't have just spots, and added blending solution with it to try to get it to move out a little bit. It just gives a little bit of sparkle here and there. I didn't use a lot of it, but I like the way it looks. So now I'm going to add some more flower shapes using the plum. There's another name for it. I'll have I'll have all of the colors that I'm using in the show notes below. But I wanted to get a little red in there. So I decided to just use the alcohol to move this around. The alcohol behaves a little bit differently than the blending solution does, so I thought I would give that a try and see if I like the look that I was getting with that. And that one just seemed like a little bit too dark for me. I wanted a little more contrast and see the colors that were underneath it, so added a little more alcohol. And I'll just keep going until I get the look that I like, and I'll add a few more of these. So now I pulled out my box of Art and Fly alcohol inks that I made from their alcohol marker refills. And this one is a Ranger Cranberry that I diluted in the little needle bottle with alcohol. So it's a very pale pink. And I just wanted to get just some tints of pink here and there, kind of mixing in. So that's what this section is. I'm just going to go around and add some diluted ink here and there. There was that little spot of green that had like a hole in the ink. So I'm just adding a little more green in there with some alcohol and try and repair that little spot. And again, sorry about my hand being in the way part of the time. Just can't help it. So then I grabbed the diluted cranberry again, and I'm going to just go around and add a little more of the pale pink. And you can see when I dropped that alcohol in there, it made holes again. That's one of the differences between using the alcohol and the blending solution. The alcohol will push the ink that you add it to. If there's dry alcohol ink and you drop alcohol, it will push a hole through it. Whereas the blending solution will just sit there until you start moving it, and it will blend it more, which is what it's designed to do. So I'm just going to go around and add a little more pink here and there. Now I'm just taking a Q-tip that I soaked in the alcohol and just doing kind of a final cleanup. There's some tiny little overspray here and there that I want to clean off, but for the most part it's done and I'm happy with it. That pale pink just, I think, made a huge difference, just to give that kind of smoky pink effect here and there. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I thank you for joining me today, this quick little alcohol ink video. If you haven't tried alcohol ink, give it a try. It's really fun. It takes a little getting used to, but the play is half the fun, right? So just finishing up my cleanup here, and I will have a still picture at the very end so that you can kind of see part of it at least a little bit closer up. But first, I want to announce the winner of the giveaway of the Vintage Typewriter stamp set and the Simon Hurley Stamping Foam. The winner is, here it comes, wait for it, wait for it, Mary Ellen Weber. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. Send me an email with your mailing address so I can get this in the mail for you. You'll find my email address in my About tab. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, go make some art. Bye.